Hi class, I'd like to welcome you to Philosophical Concepts in the College Core program. This is sort of your general education philosophy course. I'm the professor, Joe Bankert. Some students want to know what to call me. Dr. Bankert is fine. Joe is fine. Whatever you feel comfortable with, Professor Bankert. I'm pretty easygoing. Philosophy is not the easiest topic for certain students. I refer to it often like math. Some students gravitate towards math, some students don't. Some students feel like they'll never get it. Philosophy is not like math, but it is like math in that way. Certain students immediately like, oh, I get this. I like to argue. I like to provide evidence for my points. Other students don't really know exactly how to deal with philosophy. The readings can be difficult. So I'm encouraging you to be in contact with me. Don't be a stranger. Call me, email me, ask me questions, let me know what's going on. It's important, right, that you stay in touch. If things happen in your life, many of you are working, you have families, you're very busy, don't tell me after the fact, right? Let me know up front what's going on. If someone gets sick, if something happens, you need to extend a deadline. I'll work with you if you talk with me. But if you tell me at the very end of the semester, at the end of the 5 weeks, that you've been having problems this whole time, then I'm going to be less sympathetic to help you. But if you let me know what's happening as we go. So let me know if you need help. Let me know if things come up in your life. Use my contact information. The best part of my day is talking with students. Students always feel like they need to apologize when they email or when they call, like they're wasting my time. But this is what I enjoy doing. And so please don't hesitate. I figure I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So I'll welcome you to the course. I'm married. I've been married for 13 years. My wife's name's Kelly. We actually met in Point Loma, which is a Nazarene university like Northwest Nazarene University, but it's in San Diego. We both went there for our undergrad degree and met there. She has a master's in social work. And she did school social work for many years. We had children, though, and so she stopped doing that. She's recently gone back to work, and she's working at our church, actually, heading up the hospitality section of that, and is enjoying that very much. So she's doing that part-time, and then also spending a lot of time with our children, which you can see down here. We've got 2 children, Sullivan, who's 5. He was our first. And then we also have a daughter, Nina. She's 1. Wonderful children. I'm very blessed. Well, most of the time. But I love them very much. We've been in Boise for 7 years now. Initially, we were in San Diego for 13 and then moved to Boise when I got the job at NNU. But you can imagine that was kind of a transition. We had a hard time early on. But now, we love it here. You couldn't drag me away. So it's been really great. Pictures. So this is me and my wife. I think this is like our 12th anniversary. And then here are our 2 children. So that's Sullivan here. And then Nina when she was very young. She's 1 now, but I love this picture. If I could only get a shirt on that kid, that'd be great. He either wants to wear costumes, like superhero costumes, or nothing. Okay, so education. I mention this just because Nazarene world is a small world. I grew up in Tehachapi and went to Tehachapi Church of the Nazarene. Graduated in 1994. The pastor was Jerry Powers at the time. He's actually now living here in Nampa. But that was a great experience. Went to Point Loma, as I said, majored in philosophy. Graduated in 1998 there in San Diego. Went to San Diego State for my master's in philosophy. And then got my doctorate from Claremont, which is in the LA area. And my degree is actually philosophy of religion and theology. That's what my PhD is in. So that's sort of my history there. And in 2007, that's when I actually started here at NNU as well. So some of the things I really enjoy, I love movies. I always like to hear about good movies, hear recommendations, old ones, weird ones, obscure ones. I don't need to hear about blockbusters, right? Like I know about the Lord of the Rings, I've heard about Hunger Games or something, but there's a lot of movies I just can't see anymore because I have young kids, and so I'm always open to hearing about those. Some of my favorites recently, Lars and the Real Girl a few years ago, the movie Lincoln last year I really loved, The Tree of Life, which no one seems to like, but I love it. I think that was 2 years ago. Shawshank Redemption, one of my favorites. That's getting older now. But just to give you a sense, right, some of those. So please let me know if you've seen some good movies lately. So I really enjoy film. I like television, so I get into various series. I've been watching, Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead on Netflix. Those have been interesting. I think they raise a lot of interesting ethical questions, philosophical questions, religious questions, and whatnot. And then the other thing, the other hobby is I love sports. I used to play, but now I mostly watch. I love the NFL. It's probably the big one for me. I'm a big Dallas Cowboy fan, which is unfortunate. I play fantasy football. I'm into that. And I love Major League Baseball. I don't get to watch as much as I'd like. The games take a long time, but that's something I definitely track. I'm a New York Met fan, again, unfortunately. But those two things I really enjoy, and enjoy talking sports as well. If you have any questions outside of what I'm telling you about myself, please let me know. I'd love to field questions, emails, whatever. I'd also love to get to know you better. If you wanted to send me an email or post something on the discussion board, giving some bio, giving some information about you. Online classes can be tough to get to know people, so that might be something that would help. So introducing the class, let me talk about philosophy a little bit, just sort of general, right? Just general information here. It's made up of two Greek words, philos, which means love, and sophia, which means wisdom. So you've got the words here. So technically, philosophy is sort of the love of wisdom. A philosopher is someone who is a lover of wisdom. And this is important, right? Because what does that mean? What does that entail? Wisdom, right? When you think of someone who's wise in your life, what do you think of? We often think of someone who's got life experience. We often think of someone who has practical knowledge. It's not just intellectual knowledge, like factual, but someone who can make wise choices and decisions in the world. For me, wisdom often comes with this undying pursuit of knowledge, that if we pursue it, we ask good questions, we strive to find the truth and to find knowledge, then wisdom comes along for the ride, right? We can't just wake up one day and choose to be wise. We have to make little small choices in our lives, and then hopefully one day we wake up and we've developed wisdom through our little choices. But a lot of times it means being open-minded, listening to others, asking good questions, really pursuing knowledge diligently. We often think of wisdom like someone who has all the answers, but I think that's a false view of wisdom. I think a wise person is someone who's learned how to journey towards the truth and towards knowledge and to ask really good questions. So that's some of what we'll be pursuing in this philosophy class. How do we ask good questions? And how do we look for possible answers to those questions? And if we can do that well, we'll become wise. So in some ways, philosophers pursue truth and wisdom.